Here is a bonus episode available only for Patreon members of Cinema Recall. Go to patreon.com/cinemarecallpod for the full version. And now here is your host, the Vern.
Hello, Patreon members. It's me, the Vern. Welcome to this episode of Cinema Recall. This is my guest spot on the Collateral Cinema Podcast from a while back. I was joined by Bo Maddox and Ashley Chancellor, along with Robbie Sherman of Conversations with Robbie Sherman, to talk about The Evil Dead, the debut film from Sam Raimi. And it was a fun conversation, and I'm going to play just a snippet for you here. If you want to hear the full episode, go over to Collateral Cinema to catch out the full episode. As of right now, Cinema Recall is going on a little bit of a hiatus until, I would say, late February. We're going to try a whole new format, going to do some changes, hopefully getting my co-host back into the mix more. So yeah, very cool. Very excited that new things will be happening for the podcast and whatnot. And this episode will be free on Patreon. So it's going to be a free episode on Patreon, talk about The Evil Dead. Thank you so much for your support. Love you all very much. Let's not dabble on anymore, and let's get to the show. Enjoy. And yeah, also, fuck ice. Yeah, right there. Fuck ice, all right? Fuck ice. I love you all. Love you very much, and enjoy the show. Bye.
I'm Ashley Chancellor.
I'm Bo Maddox.
I'm Robbie Sherman.
I am the Vern.
And this is Collateral Cinema with
Cinema Recall.
Conversations with Robbie Sherman.
Welcome to Collateral Cinema, the only movie podcast that matters, where we focus on good movies, bad movies, and everything else in between in the world of cinema. We are podcasting straight from somewhere in Texas. And yes, my friends, we are a 420 friendly podcast. So whatever you have, be it bongs, blunts, or joints, smoke it if you've got it. And hail to the king, baby. We are finally getting into the Evil Dead franchise, starting with the 80s indie horror film directed and written by Sam Raimi in his feature directorial debut, The Evil Dead. And joining us for this episode is not one, but two special guests, the Vern from Cinema Recall and Robbie Sherman from Conversations with Robbie Sherman. How's it going, guys?
We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you. Not another peep. Time to go to sleep.
We are the things that were living and shall live again.
Yeah. Thank you. Hello.
Fuck it, hey.
Hello, Vern.
Hello, Ashley. Hey.
Hey. So,
Hello, Robbie.
Yeah, hey, good to be here tonight.
thank you so much for joining us for this episode, both of you, both some of our more frequent guests on this show. And what a better way to continue the spooky season than another exploitative film like Dead Alive, right, Bo?
Absolutely. I mean, this is actually kind of a perfect pairing when you really think about it, because these are both just kind of quintessential splatter movies. I mean,
yeah.
and they both have very similar vibes to them, except, of course, you know, I mean, Brain Dead, aka Dead Alive, that was Peter Jackson's like second or third movie, and this was just Sam Raimi and company's first movie. Like they just went all in on this just right off the bat.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I wish that man had never made a Little Hobbit movie, okay? He should still be directing like junk, like just the most awesome junk you've ever seen in your life. That's what that man was born to do. I'm sick and tired of not having the energy of Dead Alive coming out of him anymore. It's frustrating.
I know, man. I know.
agree.
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, he needs to go back to the horror genre as soon as he can.
I mean, Sam Raimi did, in fact, return to the horror genre. I mean, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was arguably the closest thing the MCU has to a horror movie. And, I mean, he's even, he even was working on the Ash vs. Evil Dead TV series for up until it was canceled.
Which is both good and bad.
Yeah. Exactly. Hey, you saw that he's returning to horror, right? He's doing an actual honest-to-goodness horror movie coming up very soon.
Fuck yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
And, I mean, again, hail to the king, baby. Come on. I mean, that is what Sam Raimi is best at. I mean, even going into like some of like one of the best scenes in Spider-Man 2 is that scene that feels like it's from a horror movie in the surgery room.
Oh. Yeah, when Dr. Octopus comes to life.
Yeah. So
that's totally...
And don't forget the end of Spider-Man 2. That's also got some real tension to it.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
does.
excellent at building tension.
Yeah.
I mean, just with the camera work. And I mean, you really see that at play here. The same camera work, that tightly captured Spider-Man swinging around the city that would influence the superhero genre, right? I mean, we've still got that same energy here, I feel like. And it really is just awesome. And I think this film is a testament to what an independent film can do.
Oh, totally. I mean, you get a whole bunch of your friends together to shoot a movie in the middle of nowhere. And the fact that this film, The Evil Dead, had really inventive makeup effects is just a really great thing. The Deadites with the eyes, I've known the actors were having really difficulties trying to wear those eye prosthetics because it made it very difficult to see. And they just went through a whole bunch of pain trying to make this movie, especially Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell has said in commentaries how he got basically abused by Sam Raimi, and Robert Tappert, I believe, is one of the other producers. Just did a whole bunch of abuse while making this movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's really inspirational if you take in the fact that they're torturing everybody to make this fucking movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of those productions that, you just know that nothing was pleasant about it. I mean, they were literally just camping out there making this movie in that cabin. I mean, that scene where they're having dinner before the cellar door opens, I mean, I'm pretty sure that was just their dinner for the night that they're eating there, So, I mean, and there was no heating, no air conditioning. Like, I'm pretty sure that they were, this was kind of closer to like the fall or the winter when they made this. So it was cold as all hell when they made this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cold. It got cold at night. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I bet.
This is the type of production, when you get done with it, you'd never want to see these people again in your goddamn life.
I think it also explains why the physical acting in this is so good, because that's what sells it, especially Bruce Campbell, who apparently goes way back with Raimi. They were working on Raimi's very first short films together back since college, I believe.
Yeah. He's such a trooper. I mean, he takes so many hits.
Yeah. And you would see his character kind of grow and evolve, and also his talent as an actor, I think, as the Ashley Williams character actually changes quite a bit over the course of the original trilogy, going from this film is really just more of an everyman, and we really don't see like the bravado and cynicism and one-liners until the middle of Evil Dead 2, which is much more of a comedy focused film than this one. But even so, I mean, as we get closer and closer to the end, just seeing Bruce Campbell absolutely like break down and get, seeing his reactions and actually seeing him come into his own, because he spends quite a bit of the film very passive and not really doing anything, just getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, I love how he is just so unassuming when we first see him. He's not even driving the car. He's just sitting in the back, and he's kind of just being the navigator and everything. So,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, you don't see any of what he would become in Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness. I mean,
especially
I would go
Army
so
of
far as to
Darkness.
say that, yeah, this is just Ashley. This isn't Ash Williams as we know him just yet. He's just Ashley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, can I say representation for men named Ashley? Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
It is a minority in this country.
Absolutely.
He's almost taken the Ellen Ripley role from the Alien movies, because he plays a type of character you never suspect to be the end guy in this, or the end hero, because he's very kind of sheepish and shy. You expect the other guy in this movie to be the end hero. And the fact that it's Ashley, this person who's through most of the movie is really kind of afraid. Like, he wants nothing to do with these Deadites.
Yeah.
He's not being brave about everything. Even when they bring up the Book of the Dead, and the recordings being played, Ashley's still very kind of like sheepish and shy. He doesn't even seem to have like the goal to try and tell the girl he likes that he likes her. He plays these small games by giving her like this necklace and things, and it's cute.
Yeah.
But he's never the stand-up type of guy until the very end.
Yeah. Actually, contrast his interactions with Linda in this film with the way that they recap it in 2, because they kind of retcon this film, and the Evil Dead timeline is weird.
Oh.
None of the films actually fit like flesh with each other, but even the way
It's
that
like the Halloween franchise.
Yeah.
Right.
The Halloween franchise
Exactly.
changes all the time. Evil Dead franchise changes all the time too.
But even the Halloween franchise has
Exactly.
like specific like timelines, right, that follow each other. None of the Evil Dead films are actually congruent with each other. It's kind of funny because I feel like, if you go into like the TV show Ash versus Evil Dead, it references the elements that were unique to both Evil Dead 1 and 2. It doesn't reference Army of Darkness, but Army of Darkness is still canon. It's just a rights issue.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Yeah.
I think they are more comfortable creating 2 as a starting point, because 1 has all these other people in it.
Yeah.
So you get 2 in, you don't have like as much emotional attachment to those other characters. I think that's really what matters when we're thinking about timeline is 2.
Yeah.
We start from 2, we go into Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
They don't reference Army of Darkness too much in the TV show, but yeah, it gets all pulled together through 2, and then we get more subtle nods to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what's interesting is how all 3 of these movies, I mean, they pretty much kind of work as standalone movies in their own right.
Yeah.
I mean, like this one is more of like the straight horror movie. Like 2 is really just a true mashup of horror and comedy. And then by the time we get to Army of Darkness, I mean, it's just full-blown comedy by that point. Like Army of Darkness is practically a cartoon when you really get down to it.
It really is. Oh my God.
It is.
And to be honest with you, how many of you first heard about these movies? Because for me, being a kid from the suburbs, it was Army of Darkness. That was the very first introduction I had to any of these characters.
Yeah.
So I actually had to go backwards when I first watched this.
Okay, for me, it was the internet where I found this movie when I was maybe about in my late teens, early 20s. Like I've told this before, how me and my best friend Joey, hey Joey, we went on a little horror movie kick, going to Hollywood Video and renting a bunch of movies that I found off of this website called the Vault of Horror.com or the HorrorVault.com. I don't know if it's still around anymore, but I mean, it pretty much had a vault of just like, these are essential horror movies that every horror fanatic should see. And that was where I first encountered like Dead Alive. And I first encountered Evil Dead as well.
Nice.
And like as soon as I saw that, I was just like, oh, we got to check these movies out. But we went ahead and started with the first movie, and it was just like, I mean, we rented it on VHS, so it had that great grainy quality to it.
Yeah.
And it was still unrated and everything. So yeah, that was where I first encountered Evil Dead. It was through the old school movie websites of yesterday, so to speak.
Fuck yeah.
No, Bo, you're making me feel very old here, all right? Because I only first heard about
both, buddy.
Army of Darkness because I saw Darkman, which is Sam Raimi's earlier film.
I have that trilogy.
And I was such a big fan of Darkman, watching that in VHS a whole bunch of times. And then I saw on a VHS cassette tape trailer the trailer for Army of Darkness, and they said, from the director of Darkman. I'm like, yes, definitely going to see that. So I saw Army of Darkness in theaters and had a whole bunch of fun time. And I actually had to have one of my friends tell me about Evil Dead 2. And says, you should watch Evil Dead 2 because it's basically a prequel to Army of Darkness. And I was like, holy crap, yes, I gotta find this. Yeah. And I found that one to be off the rails gore extravaganza that I was not used to in my young 13-year-old mind. I was like, all right, I'm not prepared for this. This is both scary, extremely funny, and then I go back and watch the first one. I'm like, wow, this is completely different. The first one has much more of a horror tone to it than Evil Dead 2. And I think the special effects in the first Evil Dead, yes, you can make the argument that they are a little bit cheesy because of the practical effects, but I think they just add so much life to it.
I think they hold up. Personally, I think they look really, really good, but they do have that like cheesy quality to them. But it's funny that you mentioned that Army of Darkness was your starting point, because actually when I talked to my mom about this franchise, she had heard of Army of Darkness, but she didn't know about Evil Dead 1 and 2, so it was very similar. But I actually watched this. Some of my earlier childhood memories are with a family friend who showed me, and possibly my sister too, Evil Dead 1 and 2. It was a long time ago, and I hardly remembered much of it. I mean, I think Evil Dead 2 was probably more memorable to me because, you know, he has the chainsaw on his arm and shit, and it's a more comedy-focused movie, but I remember enjoying it, and I don't feel like the gore really got to me though, even as a child. I mean, this is a scary movie, but it's also just a lot of fun, and I had been meaning to rewatch this for quite some time, and I had not seen it since I was a child until recently. I went ahead and watched the whole trilogy. I watched the newer Evil Dead films as well, and started the TV show for podcast prep, and I actually watched this. My uncle uploaded it again and upscaled it to 4K. I know some people might prefer watching this with the old grainy VHS quality to it, and I don't blame you for that. But getting to see it with like the full clarity also kind of helped me focus on that just really tight camera work. But what about you, Robbie? What is your experience with this film?
Okay, I'm probably seeing this around 11 or 12. And I think I saw this first, and it scared the hell out of me, frankly. And I wasn't ever like a screaming kid, but well, there were a couple of times. But this movie just got in my head for a long time, and I I didn't watch 2 for a while. I think I saw Army of Darkness pretty soon after, and that just felt cartoony. It didn't feel the same. I mean, I still liked it, but it didn't leave an imprint in the same way this did. I bet this was probably one of the first really bloody movies I saw. I know it seems pretty tame by a lot of people's standards, and I probably did see that Jack Frost movie when I was around 6 or 7, and I hated that. I hated that thing. The scene where he kills the woman by assaulting her is just, that made me so angry for so long. Like, I hated that.
Shannon Elizabeth.
I hated that movie. And, like, I don't think I ever liked seeing what happens in this movie, to one of our female leads.
We should talk about that.
I don't think I ever enjoyed seeing that. But I did think there was a certain, and this sounds dumb, like coming from, I don't know, probably an 11 or 12-year-old, but I didn't know there had to be like artistry to pull it off how they did. So that was a conflict in my head when I was real young. I don't even know if I was able to articulate that, because, you're just watching movies, things stick in your head for so long. But I did remember thinking, like, man, this is a good movie, but it's just so messed up. Like, I do remember having that very particular thought about it. And I think I saw 2 around, I don't know, probably 14 or 15. And it just, it was, I actually liked it more because I understood it better as a comedy. And it actually felt, I was already into surrealism by that time. I'm already listening to Frank Zappa and Captain Beefheart and shit like that. I'd already been taking in Three Stooges shorts since I was a kid. I loved cartoons. So Evil Dead 2 just felt more at home in a lot of ways, even though in certain manners it is much bloodier. I just don't think it feels as visceral as the end of Evil Dead 1 does.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, absolutely not.
The sheer chaos they get into, like, they get away with a lot of it because they're good with their timing. And, there's a lot of people that will, like, watch it and be like, it's just claymation and all that shit. But it has a hell of a lot of form to it when you watch it. And I think it's pretty impressive for guys who had only ever done a short film, like a few short films on their own. Like, once they actually got money, they show they have like skills that technicians back in those days would find useful. I think this film betrays a certain layer of talent that shouldn't be undermined at all. Like, if you're discussing this film.
I mean, there's just some shots in this movie where I'm just thinking, how the hell did they actually get that, Yeah. I mean, especially knowing that they were on a shoestring budget here. I mean, we're talking not even $380,000. So they couldn't have had, like, particularly great camera equipment. I don't think they even had a dolly or anything. So, I mean, like that one shot above Ash when he's walking towards the door, and then there's those beams that move by and they just go whoom, whoom, whoom. I'm just like, how did he do that?
Yeah.
How did they get that shot in that little ass cabin that they were making this at, I mean,
I kind of think they're magicians, like, sometimes.
Actually, the lady that played Shelley, apparently she has experience working in magic and stagecraft, and that actually helped with the dismemberment scene when Scotty chops her up. So, a lot of that was actually some stagecraft that she had experience in.
Also, fuck Scotty. It's his fault that everything happens, number one, because he's the one that insists on playing the recording. And also has no trigger discipline whatsoever, waves a shotgun in Ash's face. Like, come on, dude.
Ooh. Come on, man. Yeah, that shit is an ass whooping.
So you know what? Fuck Scotty.
That's an ass whooping if somebody does that to me. Fuck that. That is seriously like a serious ass whooping if somebody does that to me.
For real, dude.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't be doing that shit.
Hell no.
People.
But he's a douche.
I want to ask you this real quickly. Do we know why they went up to the cabin in the first place? Was it just for a vacation? Because I never really understood when they're in the car ride, what's the point of them going to this cabin? Is it just for a vacation?
it's apparently just a weekend in the cabin. That's all they're really doing. They're just there just to have some fun, I guess.
That seems to be the context.
No one went there to check it out. You go to the cabin there. The place is a mess. It's all torn apart. Someone has actually apparently broken into the place. You think someone would go up there ahead of time to like scout it out, maybe clean it up a little bit. You're bringing girls there to supposedly have sex with them. You think Ashley or Scott would go up there ahead of time and be like, all right, let's make sure the place is looking nice. Make sure that there's no Book of the Dead in the basement. Just a few things right there.
Good point.
To look out for before it goes over there.
I'm assuming it's quite a drive or something, and so they just made it all in one trip, but still.
That's something that Cheryl brings that up, actually. She's just like, wait, nobody's actually seen this place? Like, what are we doing? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, but I mean, Cheryl is actually a very tragic character in this movie to me.
She is.
You know, and probably the most relatable one to me because she's the odd one out. Like, she doesn't have a significant other with her, you know? Like, I mean, Scotty has Shelly, Ash has Linda, but it's like Cheryl's just kind of there because of Ashley.
I actually like the way that the remake, the 2013 Evil Dead movie reframed that. They actually have it all as like there's a clear reason for them all to be there, and the reason why the sister is there is because she's trying to get sober. And so that's why they planned this getaway retreat. I liked how the 2013 film reframed that, but I do think that, and you mentioned something to this effect earlier, Vern, but there is quite a bit of exposition missing in this film, and it feels intentional. It's like the film that actually, I was impressed by how little exposition there was. I mean, you really don't even ever get like the relationships between the characters stated. You kind of just pick it up through the dialogue. It really is a show don't tell kind of movie, and I was impressed by that, you know.
And that's a fair point too, Ashley, because I believe in, tell me if I'm wrong, and maybe listeners out there will know, but is this the first Cabin in the Woods movie that, besides the Friday the 13th movies, but I don't really count those as Cabin in the Woods, like, is this the very first Cabin in the Woods movie?
I almost want to say
I was wondering the same thing. Does it come back to this? Because, I mean, it's a foundation of the slasher genre, and this film is arguably a slasher movie, but not really.
Okay, when was the first Friday the 13th? Is that 80?
That's 1980, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this
is 81, right?
Right.
But maybe not.
Well, it was made in 79 though, and then it came out in 81.
Yeah.
Technically, it didn't actually see a wide theatrical release until 83, I believe.
Okay.
So it does predate Friday the 13th by a few years, and at least the production of it does.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But these are like evil zombies, they're not slashers, so
there's not a single threat. That's what makes it not a slasher. It's really them against the environment, you know.
Well, I mean, you can argue that, especially the dead-eyed entity that's the point of view shot in the woods is kind of stalks them like a bit of a slasher killer.
It has some slasher
especially
elements.
Especially after Cheryl is assaulted and she's being chased in the woods. I mean, that kind of. It kind of has that quality to it, but also it shows the enormity of the entity, because this thing is literally just knocking down these like almost 20-foot high trees and everything. So
not the trees.
I think that's where it goes with it. Not the trees. Yeah. We're gonna have to talk about that.
We have to talk about that scene because Sam Raimi. Was the tree rape scene really necessary? Like was it actually necessary?
No, but it.
I'll give my thoughts about that, but go ahead.
I feel like no, it's not necessary, but it does add to the grittiness and the exploitative nature of this movie. I mean, it's very much a your mileage may vary type of thing. I mean, I mean, you don't really need it, but it's like I think either Vern or Robbie said that it does kind of officially move the plot forward into the actual possessions and everything. But I mean, it's also kind of an interesting masterclass in just using practical effects to full effect. Because I mean, it's kind of impressive how they did the whole vines and branches, like actually subduing Cheryl and everything. You know, I mean, it was kind of impressive how they did that, but also at the end of the day, it's still a rape scene that just comes out of nowhere. And it's like, but it's like maybe there could have been a better way to get Cheryl out in those woods and have the woods attack her that didn't involve that. But then again, you swing it along and it's just like I said, it adds to the grittiness and the exploitative nature of this movie that kind of what helps gives it. I mean, I don't know if I want to say charm, because I mean there is a charm to it, but I don't think it comes from that. But I mean, you know what I'm getting at.
It adds to the aesthetic of
Here's the thing, too, Bo.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say about the whole tree rape sequence here. All right, the movie is called The Evil Dead.
Yeah.
And this is a great way to show that these entities are very evil. And the way the scene is shot, it is not exploitive. They never show her being naked, all right? They never try to overly sexualize the situation. It has one quick cut of like a branch going, insinuating that it goes, inside or whatnot, but it doesn't keep going with it. I mean, it could have gone more and have it go like more penetration in and out. Doesn't do that. It's just one quick shot, and you get the idea that something's gone inside of her, but it never sexualizes the situation. It never tries to show, she might be enjoying it, as you probably see other, rape scenes have done before. Yeah. It never does that. It's done in a very, I wouldn't say tasteful, but you get the idea just through shots and sounds that, all right, now she's possessed. Now when she's running away from this entity and it's chasing her, now you are feeling absolute fear for her. Yeah. So when she gets that door and she's trying to get that door open, you're like, yes, get that door open, because you do not know what this entity will do afterwards. And it's funny that this movie gets released the same year as The Entity, which is a great Barbara Hershey movie about a girl who gets sexually assaulted by a ghost she can't see. So it's kind of fitting that both The Evil Dead and The Entity got released the same year.
Yeah. Okay.
Those are
interesting.
Those are interesting points for sure, and I think you have a good point in saying that unlike other assault scenes, I'm going to try not to say the R word. Unlike other assault scenes, it does not necessarily over-sexualize it. But I also think we also need to think of this film as an extension of its creators' personalities and their thoughts on cinema, and maybe their thoughts on women and what women play in the story, because the women are the first ones to go. They are the first ones to be victimized by this entity that is essentially the camera.
Yeah.
And the directors are looking through the camera. They have to expose themselves to the voyeuristic nature of the camera by doing that. Yeah, I think we do need to keep in mind that any type of assault scene like this is unfortunately a certain amount of perspective they are taking in this, and the fact that they are putting themselves through this shows a certain amount of pleasure in creating the sadistic scene. I don't think we should downplay it.
Yeah. I don't agree with that. I don't think the directors are taking joy in like seeing women being assaulted. I don't think that at all. I think the directors are taking pleasure in this.
I don't think your points are necessarily bad, friend. I think we should really keep that as a hard thing in our head, that no matter what, they're still turning the sadistic assault of someone into entertainment on a certain level. And that's all I want to say about that.
But also you have to kind of think that maybe this says more about the conventions of that time when it came to these type of films than anything, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that was not really that uncommon in horror, like, period at that time. And I mean, you can honestly make some of the same arguments with some of the stuff in Friday the 13th, you know?
Yeah, I do want to say that I think I'm willing to be slightly forgiving because people take time to develop, and they don't have the same discourse I do growing up. I understand why there might be more confusion, when we're trying to create a sense of emotion out of a viewer, and maybe stepping over a line they're not aware of in the way they should be. Especially, these are young men. These are men in their early 20s, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But also, when it comes to the story itself, I mean, a lot of that really just kind of undercuts how gleefully, just deliriously evil the Deadites themselves are. I mean, they're doing all of this pretty much for the lulz. I mean, that's what these demons are.
That's true.
This is
they don't give a damn.
They spend quite a bit of time just terrorizing Ash. I mean, like he says, oh, you bastards! Why do you torture me like this? What?
Yeah. And it feels like the ladies are just kind of the conduit for that. I mean, it just kind of seems like the Deadites are really trying to get to Scotty and to Ash more than anything,
Yeah.
Even with the women like having a lot of victimization, they still carry this movie in a lot of ways. Like they create a lot of dynamism that isn't there before we get to the actual possessions taking place. Yeah.
I will say this about Sam Raimi. I mean, historically, he's not always right on the mark with female characters. I mean, look at the Spider-Man trilogy, for instance, but I don't think anything ever comes from a bad place with him. Ultimately, I think at the end of the day, there was just something in it. Well, first of all, like Bo said, times change. And thank God we live in a time where we have these conversations now. But second of all, there probably is some kind of point there that he was trying to make about giving birth to evil or something that wasn't made absolutely clear by the script. But I don't know. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Oh. And to be fair, Sam Raimi has never done any scenes like that. And I'm sure at the time, they probably want to do something a little bit shocking to make the movie stand out, especially if you're a young, independent filmmaker and you're trying to get your film be shown and you want the film to stand out. They're like, oh man, there's a sequence where a girl gets assaulted by the forest and it's intense and crazy. And after that sequence happens, as an audience, you're thinking, well, shit, there is nothing that these filmmakers are not going to do. You have no idea what's going to happen next to these characters. Yeah. And that, as an audience member, you're feeling tension and fear because you're like, if they're going to do this in the first 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, I have no idea what they're going to do next. And that's true. Each time Deadites happen, it's a surprise.
Yeah.
Right? When they're doing that, there's that sequence where they're trying to, I guess, read cards or predict cards. And it shows telling all what the cards are before it's even announced. And then her reveal with those eyes. Oh my gosh, I just watched this last night. I'm like, I believe their reactions are like my reactions when I first watched that. It's a total shock and surprise.
And that moment also has one of the funniest parts in the film because she gets it wrong the first time, and then she gets it right after she learns that she got it wrong. And Ash is just sitting there when she's talking, he's just not even paying attention. Just he's so freaked out and not paying attention. It's so funny, his tone of voice when he's talking to her during that.
Yeah.
I mean, Shelley is just straight up lying to Linda at that point, if you notice. He's just like, you're getting it right. He's like, in a 9 of hearts or something like that, and she calls him something else, and it's like, she's kind of encouraging it.
Yeah. Definitely.
I think the acting is generally pretty good. I think there are a couple of moments where the improvisational nature of it, with people laughing in place of actual dialogue they're saying is a little noticeable. But
Yeah.
I still like had pretty decent like registry of the jokes and things. Like I do think there's some thought that they put into this before they went out there and did some improv.
I think the best sequence as far as acting is concerned is right after Cheryl like makes it back to the cabin after the entity chases her, and then like just the terror that she's conveying there, like she's just flipping out and everybody's just like, dude, what the fuck is going on here? And I kind of feel like in that scene and the scene where they go find the bridge all mangled, I think that's actually some of the most effective acting in the entire movie, because that's when they really realize that they're kind of fucked here. Yeah. You know?
Oh.
Like, so.
By far, she's the best actor in this movie. By far.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's why it's interesting that they made her into the first person to actually get attacked by the Deadites.
Yeah. Is she the girl that has her hand out in the VHS cover? Is that her?
I think so.
In the VHS spots art where she's reaching out above the grave right there. I think that is, but I could be wrong.
It might be Linda. I don't know.
That could
really
be.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Evil Dead 2 just pretends that Cheryl and Scotty and Shelley don't even exist. So,
I mean, well, to be fair, I mean, it's not Ashley, it's Ash. So I always thought that is Ashley's brother. There are two brothers who happen to be named Ashley, but one brother said, I'm not being called Ashley, I'm Ash. So, and Ash is like, hey, my brother went to this cabin. I'm going to bring my girlfriend out there. Who's named Linda too. Why not?
Yeah, right.
Just two brothers.
Yeah.
That's almost as plausible as anything else, really. In this universe.
It makes about as much sense. Yeah.
But, what else?
For being a low budget there, just wonderful. I like it how they just basically put a camera on a board and just had that be the entity. They strapped that to a motorcycle and just drove that to be this entity force. Motorcycle,
that's how they do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's cool.
And this was, I just released about a year or so after The Shining. I mean, I know it's 83, but The Shining came out in 80, and the whole idea about this mysterious force coming in there, I can see how Sam Raimi could have influenced is influenced from Kubrick's The Shining. I like the fact, too, that in one scene, they're showing the Hills Have Eyes poster, and later on, in A Nightmare on Elm Street, they have a poster of the Evil Dead 2 or Evil Dead in the Nightmare on Elm Street. So
Nancy is watching Evil Dead in that movie.
Yeah, she's watching it on the TV.
Yeah.
So basically, it seems that both filmmakers are influenced from each other, and I absolutely love that.
Yeah, that is bad.
Cool. It's cool that you have that call out right there. That was really cool. And also near the beginning of the movie, like those two dudes on the side of the road that are waving after Scotty Honk, that's Sam Raimi and I think also Ted Raimi. Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And also Robert Tapert, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
Is involved. Well, exactly. I know the three of them were all like stand-ins because they had to reshoot some things in this film past the point that most of the cast and crew were there. So in a lot of shots, it's actually
you could tell
Sam Raimi, Ted Raimi, Robert Tapert.
Oh man, you could tell with some of the makeup effects on, like I'm pretty sure there's some moments where Cheryl is probably either Tapert or Raimi, possibly. It's like, I mean, I also really like how they use lighting to kind of cover up how cheap the makeup effects are with Cheryl in several scenes, like especially when she's locked in the cellar, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, lighting and sound are both used to full effect in this movie, honestly. Like,
yes.
Like going back to the scene when Cheryl makes it back after being attacked, like when her and Ash are getting in the car and leaving, it's like in the doorway they have that one light that's just right behind Shelley and Linda and Scotty, like almost kind of foreshadowing what's about to happen to them a little bit, you know.
Oh yeah,
like just this ominous. Like it kind of shows how the cabin itself is kind of its own character in this movie. You know,
That's
very much almost the main antagonist of the movie when you really think about it.
Yeah,
there's a shot where the entity is like chasing Ash through the cabin, and it's breaking open doors and swinging things out. They must have had to do a whole bunch of preparation to shoot scenes like that, to make sure that the doors are open at certain times, to make sure that when one thing flies open, it doesn't hit our main character, because there's a lot of dangerous things going on there. And they are doing this with a limited crew, like a non-union crew, just guys going out there to shoot a movie. And it was like almost like dangerous. It's almost like Buster Keaton level of stunt dangerous, because there are many sequences that these actors could get physically hurt and maybe even killed. Even that sequence where they're driving the car across that bridge. I mean, I know that it's really a fake bridge and there's not much danger, but there's still kind of danger there, being the fact these are guerrilla filmmakers doing this shit.
And there's one shot where we see our beloved Bruce just fall right into a fucking shelf, and then a shelf falls on top of him, and it's just so brutal. Like, I couldn't imagine doing that for what they were doing it for.
It's like 3 or 4 times he gets thrown into a goddamn shelf. It's like, this movie hates shelves.
Yeah. Fucking murder they committed on this man.
Seriously.
But you know what? He's helping his friend out, his buddy. I mean, that's what this was. It was a passion project.
I'm never doing that much to help my buddy out. I think. No, coming on your podcast, there isn't being thrown into a fucking shelf. Okay, that's beyond friendship. That's like straight up, I'm going to marry you or some horse shit. I don't know. Like, what are we doing? I want to quit my day.
You got to get thrown into bookshelf to sell movie.
If you want me to throw me to a bookshelf to make a horror film, all right, that's fine. But you got to give me some beer and some whiskey.
Yeah, definitely a lot of alcohol is going to be involved in that.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah, you know it.
I'm sure there was plenty of alcohol involved in the making of this movie. In fact, I almost guarantee it, no matter what anybody says.
Yeah.
Yeah, they spent $375,000 just to go drinking out in the woods. That's pretty much what happened here. And then somehow a movie just kind of came out of it.
By the way, the ending scene where Ash gets attacked at the end, Sam Raimi has said that the intention of that scene was for the character to die at the end of the film. But obviously that would get changed whenever they decided to do a sequel. But Raimi didn't always intend to do a sequel. He kind of came back to it, I think, because his other projects failed to meet the same level of success, I believe.
Yeah.
It was the woods themselves. They're alive, Ashley.
I fear that the only way to stop those possessed by the spirits of the book is through the act of bodily dismemberment.
I don't care what happens to her. She's your girlfriend. You take care of her.
I love that little shot that ends the movie because it leaves no survivors. Like, that is a great horror twist, to end your movie on, to make sure there are no survivors. Like, you gave this man some means of survival until the end of this hellish night. He did not seemingly have the ability to do that, and he did it. And he watched all his friends fall apart, and now he has to go try to live his life out, explaining what the hell this is and what happened and how he can survive in the world, and then he's gone,
It's good. It's also a very funny shot at the same time too, just like the way that he's screaming and stuff. And it gets even funnier when they continue the scene in too. But I actually appreciate how funny this movie is, even as a not as comedy focused film, as a more serious film than its successors. It does still have quite a bit of humor. Dare I say, even slapstick.
Yeah, I mean, Campbell and Raimi were huge fans of the Three Stooges, and you can totally see that all over this movie, and especially all over Army of Darkness and Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just the straight up physical slapstick nature, like for instance, the aforementioned bookshelves that Ash is continuously being thrown into,
right?
And also just some of the effects during his struggles with Linda, or like the attack or Shelley's attack on Scotty and everything. Like it does kind of have that quality to it a little bit.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's what really sells it for me. Is it's such a solid horror movie, and it takes itself more seriously than the ones that came after it, but it does still have that element of humor in it, and I think that's why it was worth talking about first. And honestly, I would love to go and jump into Evil Dead 2 next season, maybe, just because I think that's just as worth talking about, as a standalone film. But I wanted to start with this one because I think it means a lot to the film industry, to horror, to independent filmmaking.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of the more influential and successful indie horror movies this side of Halloween in '76, Yeah. I mean, this was kind of the next successor to that, maybe that, and also Last House on the Left are just kind of in succession,
True.
Like they kind of, it's kind of what helped lead horror into the '80s and everything,
and
pre-slasher and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm also kind of wondering where does I Spit on Your Grave sit too, because that's a divisive, like, extreme horror.
Yeah, that movie's, you can kind of put that there as well. Like I mean, we were talking about the tree assault scene, and I was going to say that yeah, I mean, it definitely was something that they had to use to stand out, because I mean, you had like Last House on the Left, you had I Spit on Your Grave. I mean, hell, even going back to like Straw Dogs or something like that, So yeah, just kind of leading up to this movie. I mean, remember, it was made in '79. I mean, it kind of makes a little bit of sense that they would go that route.
Yeah. I mean, but I think what really also impresses me too is just the creativity of the film. Like I'm watching the scene now where he walks into the room with the film projector and the light bulb, and there's the blood dripping down onto the film projector lens, and so you see the blood on the projection behind him. That's a really cool shot. And yeah, I mean, we mentioned like the stop motion effects and whatnot earlier too. I mean, that like this film is just so fun to watch.
It really is, man. I just love the final scene where Cheryl and Scotty are just disintegrating after the Natron de Manto is thrown into the fire, which, yeah, by the way, this isn't the Necronomicon. This is the Natron de Manto.
Yeah, it's not referred to as the Necronomicon until the sequel.
Yeah.
And the word Deadite isn't used either.
No.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, I forgot they don't use the word Deadite or the Necronomicon. Yeah. That does come later on.
Yeah. But I mean, I just love how they just turn into absolute goop. But like by the time Ash is able to leave the cabin, I mean, they're literally just sludge on the floor. It's like, I mean, how do you deal with that? That's your sister and your homeboy just
and your girlfriend
in a puddle on the and your girlfriend. They're all in a puddle on the fucking floor now. So, I mean,
I gotta tell you, as a guy who's taken a few years to learn something about animation, I was pretty impressed with how fluid it felt, for a small crew working on nothing even in that day and age. Like, there are just moments where like there's actual fluidity and like character thought, like color thought into it. The way it disintegrates into colors that feel natural. It goes from these like lush reds into deep reds into black, and there's times where like the characters will start with their blood color, the face coming down, but then they get like white and blue in there, and it's so damn dynamic. Every time I watch it, I realize these guys had their shit together early on in a technical sense. Like, I feel really good about it.
It's really, really impressive. I mean, just the framing, like you mentioned, the colors, and everything. Like,
I just love how I love how the Deadites just have all these different types of bodily fluids just coming out of nowhere. Like, I mean, what's up with the white fluid? Like, what the hell is all of that? Like, there's some like green slime, I think, at one point on Cheryl. It's like,
it doesn't even fucking matter why. It just feels so dynamic. You just spit it at people. It just feels disgusting. That's what matters.
It is a very dynamic movie. I mean, even whenever it uses a lot of Dutch angles, but it doesn't feel like it's overusing them. It actually felt like it really just added to the drama. Compare that to something like, I remember Thor 1 is a movie I watch, and every time I watch it, I'm like, damn, this guy, Kenneth Branagh, really loved his Dutch angles, doesn't he? It stands out. This is a movie, I think, that uses a lot of similar angles, but I think it uses them well enough that you don't really notice and it doesn't drag on you. And then just how unconventional a lot of these shots are, and the way that they zoom and pan out over characters' faces and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, so what I love about movies like this, because these filmmakers, Bruce Campbell, Sam Raimi, Robert Tabbert, they were just going out there to make a movie just for their enjoyment as well. I mean, yes, I know they're trying to make a profit, but they're just friends going out there to make a movie that they love. And I miss that so much. I feel like today's age of instant gratification, of like TikTok and Zoom.
Yeah.
Filmmakers nowadays want to make the profit right away. How much movies did this movie gross? And I love the fact that these guys weren't caring about that right away. They just said, hey, we want to make a horror film. We're horror fans. What can we do that's different than what anybody else is doing?
Yeah.
And they took risks. And I love that. I wish more filmmakers would take more risks.
It reminds me of the way that we shot Texas Sundown when we put that film together. Because, it's just an independent film that we took to for the craft. We didn't do it for money. Mm-hmm. So I really like watching films like this, independent films that became instant classics, because I think it again, it's a testament to what is possible. And it's inspiring.